All right, so I need you to make sure that you have, let me make sure the screen is clear. Make sure that you have everything written, okay? Everything should be written. All right, don't forget, we're going to do the warm up and we're going to do the word problems today, just as we discussed yesterday, okay? All right, so let's do this warm up. Let's do the warm up. And again, today is Thursday. I didn't even say that, did I? Today is Thursday, the 7th. Okay. All right, so we have a 13-foot ladder is leaning against the building. So look, this is the building. The building goes straight up and down. This is the building. And the ladder is leaning up against the building. A ladder has, this is like a ladder. I'm going to draw lines. And remember, it's 13 feet. So I'm going to put 13 feet here because it's leaning up. So that means it's tilting over on the building. This is the building reaches, let me see. The ladder reaches the building at 12 feet. So the ladder stops here at 12 feet from here to here. So this is where the ladder is stopping. That's 12 feet. Okay. Then it's saying how far is the base of the ladder from the wall. So this distance here is what we're trying to find. This is a right triangle. This side of the right triangle is 12. This is 13. And this is the side that's missing. So we can use Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So we're going to label our A. Remember, the side opposite of the right angle is C. This is the slanted side. That's the hypotenuse. This is one of the legs. So we're going to label this as A, and this bottom part is B. So B is missing. So this is 12 squared plus B squared is missing, and C is 13. Okay? All right, so we have, I'm sorry. So we have 12 squared, which is 144, plus B squared equals 169. Because 13 times 13 is 169. Now, to get B by itself, so that we can figure out what B is, we're going to subtract 144 on both sides. Okay? This is gone, and we're left with B squared is equal to, look, 169 minus 144. And that gives us 25. Now, the opposite of squaring a number so that we can get rid of the square, so we can figure out what B is to find the square root. So the square root of B squared is B, and the square root of 25 is 5. So the length of B is 5 feet. The length of B is 5 feet. A builder needs to add a diagonal brace to a wall. Okay, so this is a wall, which is a rectangle, and a brace, like a little board, it needs to be diagonal. This is the board that's diagonal in the wall. All right, so it says that the wall is a 18 by 24. So that means length width. When you say you give two 18 by 24 feet, that's talking about your length and your width. So we got a length 18 and 24 is the width. Okay. So now we're trying to figure out how long this brace is. This is what's missing. So this is, if we look closely, we can see that this is a right triangle. So again, we're going to use Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So we're going to label the sides. The side opposite of the right angle is C. So C is missing again, okay? Well, C is missing, okay? Not again, but C is missing. So this is my A and this is my B. So we got 18 squared plus 24 squared is equal to C squared. So look, you can type in 18 squared, which gives us 324. And then 24 squared, we've done that a bunch, which is 576. Okay? Equals C squared. So we're going to add those together. We're going to add 324 plus 576, and that gives us 900. Bring down the equals C squared. So in order to get rid of the squared, to figure out how long that brace is, the slanted side, the opposite of squaring a number is square root. So we press second X and we type in 900, and that's going to give us 30 because 30 times 30 is 900. So the brace is 30. The brace is 30 feet long. Okay. Please pause the video if you need to pause the video. Okay. All right. Pause for the calls. Okay. Now I need you to take out your interactive notebook, and we're going to do page 14. Okay. So this is Q4, page 14. And we're going to review Pythagorean theorem first before we go to the word problem. So this is review Pythagorean theorem. And plus, this is what your test is on tomorrow. I mean, your quiz is on tomorrow, okay? All right. Distance is not on there. I decided against that because, we really didn't get into it. So it's okay. I'll do it when I get back, okay? All right. So we're going to review Pythagorean theorem. Remember, Pythagorean theorem, the formula for Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where your A, B, and C are side lengths to a right triangle. And remember, you can only use this with a right triangle. Your A is your A and your B is always going to be the legs, okay? The legs are the sides that form this right angle. So this is a leg and this is a leg. So this is your A and this is your B. These are your legs. The side that's opposite of the right angle, the slanted side, is your C. Okay? This is your C. This is your hypotenuse. Hypotenuse. Okay? All right. So now we are going to do a couple problems. And to make sure, I want you to pause the video after you draw it. Pause the video so you can do it on your own. Okay? So number one, let's start there. We have this. Okay, let's suppose that this is 7 and this is 8. Okay, this is a right triangle. This is the side that's missing. Please pause the video to see if you can do this. All right, so now since this is a right triangle and you're trying to find this missing length, you can use Pythagorean theorem. Remember, Pythagorean theorem is only used with right triangles. So we're going to label all the sides. These two sides that form the right angle are our A and our B. And the side opposite of the right angle is the C. So C is the side that is missing. The hypotenuse is missing. Because this is a leg, and this is the hypotenuse. Okay? All right, so now we're going to substitute. Here, we're going to substitute A is 7. So that's 7 squared plus this side is B. So that's 8 squared is equal to C squared. So 7 times 7 is 49 plus 8 times 8 is 64. It's equal to C squared. And remember what you do is you add these together. You have 49 plus 64. And that gives you 113. Bring down the equal, bring down the C squared. To get rid of the squared, you're going to find the square root. So when you find the square root here, this is going to give you the square root of 113 is equal to C. So you can write it like this as an answer, or you can write it as a decimal. So second, you got x squared 113, and the decimal is C is about squiggly lines 10.6. Okay. Let's try number 2. Hopefully you got that right, y'all. Let's try number 2. Let's do this one. Let's suppose we have a right triangle in this corner. Okay. Let's say this side right here is 15. Let's say this side over here is 10. This is the side that's missing. I want you to pause the video and see if you can get this on your own. All right, let's see if we can do it. As you see, this is a right triangle because it has a right angle. So we're going to label the sides. The sides that form the right angle are your A and your B. So again, this is A and this is B. The side opposite of the right angle is C. Okay, so this is going to be my hypotenuse. This is C. All right. Even though it doesn't look slanted, if I turn it and sit it right, it's going to be the slanted line. Okay, so we're going to use A squared plus B squared equals C squared. We're going to substitute 10 for A, B we don't know, and C is 15. Okay? So here we have 10 times 10, which is 100, plus B squared is equal to 225. Okay? So now we are going to get B by itself by getting rid of the 100. So we're going to subtract 100 on both sides. Okay? So when I subtract 100 on both sides, this gives me 0, and I'm left with the B squared is equal to, and this gives me 5, 2, 1, 125. So now we're going to find the square root of 125. So this is going to be B equal to, and let's type in the square roots. Let's get a decimal answer. Square root 125. That's going to be 11 point, let's do about 11.2. Do squiggly. Okay. All right, try this one. All right, try this one, number 3. Let's suppose that you have right angle is here. Okay, so let's make this here 20, and let's make this side over here. Let's make that 12. Okay. All right, this is the side that's missing. See if you can do that on your own. Pause the video. Okay, so this is a right triangle because you have a right angle in the corner, so you can use Pythagorean Theorem, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. You're going to label your sides. Your sides that form the right angle are your A and your B. So I'm going to make this B and this A this time. It doesn't matter which one you label A and which one you label B. AB or BA, okay? But the side opposite of the right angle has to, or the side that's diagonal from that right angle has to be C. So 20 has to be C. So this is going to be A squared plus 12 squared is equal to 20 squared. Okay? So we have A squared plus 144. 12 times 12 is 144. And then we have the 20 times 20, or 20 squared, is 400. So now to get A by itself, we have to get rid of positive 144 by subtracting both sides by 144. So this is going to be gone, and I have A squared is equal to 256. So in order to get A by itself, to get rid of the squared, the opposite of squaring a number is square root. So we're going to find the square root. Look at this. Sorry. We're going to find the square root second x squared of 256, and that is 16. So A here is equal to 16. Okay. Please make sure that you have done all of the problems and that you've shown your work. This is page 14. Okay. Now take that paper out that I gave you yesterday so that we can go through those word problems now. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's look at this, the first one. Okay. Make sure you put your name on your paper so that when you take a picture, you can submit this. Okay. All right, so we're going to be drawing the picture, and we're going to use Pythagorean Theorem to solve these problems. All right, so it says the bottom of the ladder must be placed 3 feet away from the wall. So this is the wall, and a ladder is not going to stand up by itself. It's going to lean up against the wall, just like we did in the warm-up. And it's placed, the bottom part is placed 3 feet away. So the ladder is 3 feet away here. Okay, 3 feet from the wall. The ladder is 10 feet. So we're going to put 10 feet, okay, here. How far is the ladder? How far above the ground does the ladder touch the wall? So it touches up here. So this is what you're trying to find, this length right here, where the ladder actually touches the wall. So from the ground to the top part of the ladder, where it touches. So this is a right triangle. So we're going to use again Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And we're going to label the sides. The sides that form the right angle is our A or B. This is A, this is B. The side opposite of the right angle is our C. So now we're going to substitute. We're going to substitute A is missing, so we're just going to write A squared. B is 3, so we have 3 squared. And C is 10, so we have 10 squared. So when we simplify, we get A squared plus 9 is equal to 100. 3 squared is 9. 10 squared is 100. So now we want to get A by itself. So we're going to subtract 9 on both sides. This is an A. This is going to leave me with A squared on this side. This is gone. It's equal to 91. To solve for A, you got to get rid of the square. The opposite of squaring a number is square root. So when we find the square root of A squared, that's just A and about, because we want to find the decimal. So we have the square root of 91, second x squared, 91, and that's equal to 9.5. Or you can leave it as the square root of 91. The ones I want you to do on your own, you can leave it as the square root because you might not have a calculator, okay? All right, let's look at number 2. A soccer field is a rectangle, and it's telling you that it's a rectangle too also. It says the width, how wide it is, the width of it is 100. And I should have drew a little bit better, right? This is 100. And how long it is 130. Okay? The coach asks the players to run from one corner to the other corner diagonally. So it doesn't matter which corner, it's still going to be the same. So I'm going to draw from this corner to that corner because it needs to be a diagonal. So you can either draw this way or the other way. It doesn't matter because if this side is 130, this is 130. If this is 100, then this is 100 because it's a rectangle. So now you need to figure out what the diagonal is, okay? So this is a right triangle. The side that's opposite of the right angle is C. So this is C that we're trying to find. This is A, this is B. Okay, should have drew it a little bigger, I'm sorry. So we're going to use Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. A is 130, so I'm going to put 130 squared. B is 100, so I'm going to put 100 squared. And C is what's missing. So now I'm going to do 130 or 130 squared. And that's going to be 16900. Okay. 16,900 plus you got 100 squared. It's 4 zeros. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 10,000. I'm going to add those together. I've got 16,900. Sorry. Good Lord. I'm going to say 16,900. We're going to add those together. And that gives us 26,000. 900. Okay? So now we're going to find the square root on both sides. So we have the square root of 26900, and that gives us 172.04. So this is about 172.04. Or you can write it as C is equal to the square root of 26,900. Okay? Because remember, you probably don't have a calculator with you. All right. Number 3. How far from the base of the house do you need to place a 15-foot ladder so that it exactly reaches the top of a 12-foot tall wall? So this is the 12-foot tall wall. This is 12. And the ladder is, I'm drawing a little bit bigger than I did the last time. It's saying that the ladder is 15. So what is this distance? How far does it have to be away from the wall? Okay. So we have an A. B is what's missing. And C, this is the slanted side. We have that. So we have A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Okay. Our A is 12. Our B is what's missing. And our C is the side opposite of the right angle. So this is going to give you 12 squared is 144. Bring down the B squared. 15 squared is going to give you 225. Okay. So now you're going to subtract 144 from both sides. And this is going to be B squared is equal to, when you subtract, 81. So now, in order to get B by itself, you got to get rid of squared. The opposite of squaring a number is the square root. So B here is going to be equal to 9. Okay, the square root of 81 is 9. Number 4, don't forget you always can pause if you need to. What is the length of the diagonal of a rectangle? Okay, the diagonal of a 10 centimeter by, so hard on pencils, I'm sorry, y'all. 10 centimeters by 15 centimeter rectangle. Okay, so this is a rectangle. This is your length, this is your width. So 10, 15. And now they want to know what the diagonal is. Okay, you draw it either way. Either way, if this is 10, this is 10. If this is 15, this is 15. So it doesn't matter which way you want to look at it. This is a right triangle. Okay, this is the side that's missing. They want to find the length of the diagonal. So you are going to use Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Okay. All right, so label your sides. This is A, this is B. C is the side that's missing, the side that's opposite of the right angle. Okay. So now, pause the video and see if you can finish this out on your own. All right, let's see if you got it right. You're going to substitute 10. So we got 10 squared plus 15 squared is equal to, and we have C squared. 10 squared is 10 times 10, which is 100, plus 15 squared is going to be 225. I'm going to add this together, and this gives me 325. Bring down the equal, bring down the C squared. Now you want to find the square root on both sides. Okay, so you can either write your answer as square root 325. We could break that down, but you might not have your calculator, so that's okay. So we're going to type in square root 325, and that gives you 18.02. Okay, so C is about 18.02, or make this a 3 because behind it is a 7. Okay. All right. So now I want you to try these on your own. I want you to try these on your own. I'm going to read, but I want you to try it on your own. It says the diagonal of the rectangle, remember to draw a rectangle and draw a diagonal, okay? The diagonal of that rectangle is 25. This is 25, okay? The width, how wide it is, the width is 15. So maybe this is 15. This is the side that is missing. Of course, this is a right angle, so you're going to use Pythagorean theorem to figure out the length of this side. Okay? Pause to figure that out. Okay? Don't forget to use a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Number 6. Two sides of a right triangle are, remember, look, two sides of a right triangle. It's 8 and 12. Find the hypotenuse. Again, you're going to use a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay? You have to label the parts. Pause. See if you can do that on your own. Number 7. A baseball diamond square. So that means all the sides are the same. Okay? That means it's a right angle here. Right angle everywhere. Is diamond that is 90 feet on each side. So it's 90 all the way around. 90, 90, 90. Okay? What is the distance the catcher has to throw the ball from second base? So look, the picture, Lord have mercy. The the person that's pitching the ball is here. Second base. Okay, so look. This is home plate. So this is first, this is second. So we're trying to figure out what is the distance that a catcher has to throw the ball from home. This is home to second base. So it's a diagonal here. Okay? So you have to figure out what is the length of this diagonal. And remember, this is a right angle also. Okay? These are right angles. So you can use what? Again, Pythagorean theorem. And I'm going to read these and I'm not going to draw the picture because I want you to draw the picture of the last two. David leaves the house to go to school. He walks 200 meters west. Okay, so maybe I'll help you out a little bit. Okay, picture the map in front of you. We're on the East Coast. That's this way. West Coast is that way. So west is going this way. Okay, so he walks 200 west. So this is 200 west. Okay. And then he walks 125 north. So this is right here. 200 west, straight line going this way. And then north is straight up this way, up north. That's 125. Okay, from his starting point. Remember, the starting point was right here. Okay, so how far did he travel? What's this distance here? Okay, what's this distance here? Okay, from the starting point to this point, the direct route from here to here. This is where he started. This is where he ended. What's the distance there? A park, so you got to find this distance. A park is in the shape of a rectangle. Draw a rectangle, 8 miles long, 6 miles wide. How much shorter is the walk if you diagonally walk the park along the two sides? So see if you can answer that question on your own. Again, after you finish everything, please make sure that you submit this in Canvas. All right, y'all. Have a good day and please behave. Okay? Love you much. Bye.